an undocumented migrant, apparently on a boat, just showed up on a boat, got to the UK and showed up to a Taylor Swift dance class in Southport and stabbed 6 little girls. The 3. By the way, we were hanging out here yesterday. 2 of them were deceased, and then Tony got on the internet and saw that another one was killed. God rest their souls, guys. The 9 others were injured at a Taylor Swift themed dance class in the UK on Monday. A 17-year-old male who has been arrested. And by the way, I saw a photo of this guy. I don't think it's whatever it is. He's an undocumented migrant, whatever the hell they want to call it. He was connected to the incident, and he's being held in local police custody. The suspect arrived by taxi at the event just before noon, attacking children and 2 adults who were attempting to stop the assailant. The motive of the attack is currently unclear. You know, they can't just say he's a psychotic, crazy migrant that has no scruples, has no ID, has no nothing, so he doesn't give a damn. And they're saying that it is not currently being treated as terror-related. I think the parents of the 3 murdered girls would beg to differ about the definition of terror. And the witnesses say that the stabber was dressed in a black hood when he entered the venue, which had advertised the event as a morning of Taylor Swift-themed yoga, dance, and bracelet making. The venue was located on Hart Street in Southport, a coastal town north of Liverpool. And the UK Minister Keir Starmer wrote on X, "Horrendous and deeply shocking news emerging from Southport. My thoughts are with all those." By the way, your thoughts, shove them up your ass, okay? Whoever's in charge of the prime minister, you're letting all these freaking people come in. I'm tired of this story. I am sick and tired personally, guys. All I do every time I go on X and I'm seeing people, they talk shit about us and our guns, and I get it. It's a whole different conversation. But you let your border wide open, okay? You let these just unattended, just everybody come on in, unchecked, we do it. They pass for this multiculturalism bullshit, and it drives me nuts. And Brendan, I want to go to you first, because I was even asking Brendan, I go, why is it that all these countries, America, Europe, I mean, dude, France, Spain, Germany, we're seeing it everywhere. And I don't care if you want to lie to yourself, they don't need guns. Rob, you've been seeing this, right? They're stabbing the shit out of people. They're grabbing them, they're robbing them. I saw a video yesterday of this girl in France, she's trying to get in her house, and this tall dude, I'm assuming he's from either Africa or wherever, he's a huge black dude, he's grabbing her. Other people are just sitting there watching. Kel, one guy's like turning his head. He's physically assaulting her. He's trying to grab her wallet, and then he's trying to go in there and like assault her, like sexually assault her. And nobody's saying anything. And people are acting like it isn't a problem, okay? And I want to show this video before I go to you, Brandon. This is a video of the citizens, which I absolutely love. Even though these people vote for these people that have these ideologies that are ruining the country. And mark my words, they're going to ruin the country. It's going to fall. Europe is finished. Done. Deal. They're trying to do that shit here. Europe is almost done. They're rioting because they are fed up with the migrant violence. There's a little girl on the left. But yeah, can you play that video, Jake? Okay, which that makes me happy, because at least the people are like, dude, they are fed up. They're not protected. Bro, think about it. You pay your taxes, Brendan. You do this. You're proud of your country. You do this. You go to games. You support everybody. You're pro your country. But then the leaders are letting people in because they want to change the makeup of the place. They want to add this multiculturalism bullshit. But when the patrons are dying, and we talk about this all the time, Kelly, if one person dies, if one person, let alone a child, 3 kids that are there at a Taylor Swift concert, where the is the outrage? Okay, where are the people? And I get it, we saw a little taste of it here, but enough with that shit, man. They're killing little girls. If you can't be safe going to dance at a Taylor Swift dance yoga class, what the hell are we talking about, Brendan? Brendan, please explain why these people try to act as if it's cool to bring all these migrants in, unchecked, undocumented, Brandon. And what is, because it's socialism, right? And Marxism.
Yeah.
What's the end goal, end game for these people?
So it's really globalism, and I mean the reason they bring these people in is, and the reason they let them in is the leaders of these countries are the young global leaders now of the World Economic Forum, and the reason that they march in these migrants is because in order to implement the socialism, one world government stuff, they have to erode the culture and the middle class of these Western countries. And notice how it's all the European countries in America that are the countries that are letting mass immigration take place. It's not the countries that are outside of the West. So there's a concerted effort to attack the biggest concentration of wealth in the world, because the biggest obstacle to the globalists is places like America and the stronger countries in Europe, where there's a strong sense of culture and pride and strong middle class. They say in the handbook or whatever of how to implement socialism, you have to destroy the middle class, because to make socialism happen, you have to have enough people that are sick and tired and fed up with their way of life, that are in poverty, that hate the elite, so to convince them to overthrow the government. So in a strong middle class, you don't have that. You have the vast majority of people who kind of enjoy like their way of life and appreciate what they have, and they don't feel the urgency to try to overthrow the powers that be. But if you destroy the middle class, then you could get people outraged and desperate enough to, try to ask for a new system or overthrow the government or ask for socialism. So basically, they want to make things so bad and painful and disastrous that you are begging the government to change something drastically.
And they don't
break
care.
it down to build it back up in a new way.
Got you. And they don't care if
Anything
little
goes.
girls are getting murdered.
Hell no.
Everybody's getting
Like, what do you
raped.
expect if you're letting mass immigration happen from a country that has Sharia law where women aren't allowed to show their faces in public? Like, I mean, I'm just guessing or assuming, but maybe that has something to do with this. Like, a lot of these countries are letting Muslims come to their country. Is it outside the realm possibility to think that somebody that doesn't like the fact that women are able to, show their bodies and faces in public?
Yeah, and Brandon, if you think about it too, I mean, these guys that are coming in, they're not coming in with families. They're not coming in with a group. These are young age, horny, like aggressive alpha males, younger than 30, in their 20s. They're just there. They have nowhere to go. They have nothing to do, and they're seeing these hot, beautiful women walk around. They're aggressive and they attack them. Amy, what do you think about when you hear some stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, just on what you were saying, what immediately comes to mind for me is thinking about the places where these people come from and what their upbringing must have been like. And did that upbringing, was that conducive to them being healthy, functioning, emotionally mature human beings? And the answer is likely not. When you live in survival mode and you're brought up in survival mode, you're incapable of kind of developing these higher faculties, right? And blending in with civilized society. And so, if they want to bring these people in, there has to be some type of assimilation, something to help them transition into this way of life. But that's clearly not the intention of the elite. I completely agree with what Brendan's saying. They're creating destruction so they can then come in and provide the solution. They can be the knight in shining armor. And when it gets bad enough, we're all going to be looking for a savior. And that's where they're going to swoop in and pose all of their solutions, which are going to be even more diabolical. So, all in all, it's definitely very disturbing. I think we need more people getting pissed off about this stuff. Like you said, Vinny, where's the outrage? We've all become so callous to these things because we hear about them week in, week out. Let's rally together and let's talk about these things more. And like, even if we see this stuff week after week after week, like, remember, like, these are real lives. Like, say something about it, do something about it. It's only in that way that we're going to make progress.
I agree. Rob, what do you think?
Well, I mean, people that are illegal immigrants in the United States are breaking the law to get here. So to expect them to start abiding by the laws in a country in which they broke the law to get into doesn't make any sense. The problem that I fear is that it's not just happening in the United Kingdom. We've seen with the murders of Lake and Riley, the 12-year-old girl that was handcuffed in Texas underneath a bridge while two violent animals viciously raped her and then murdered her. That this is already happening here in the United States. How many more signs do we need to wake up before we actually do something? Instead of providing these people with hotel rooms and tickets and flights and giving them access to services here in the United States that should be going to, I don't know, the homeless veterans that are on the streets, the homeless Americans that are on our streets. We're giving these to people who break into the country, they break the law to be here, and then we're surprised when they break the law when they're in the country that they broke the law to get into.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, well, we're clearly seeing the ramifications of this in the United Kingdom. How soon before we start seeing even more heinous acts of violence here in the United States? And is it too late to put the genie back into the bottle? It's already out.
Great point. What do you think, Kel?
I think it's three things. The first thing is that you have to be enforcing the law. If you're here illegally, you need to leave. Or anywhere illegally, you need to leave. There's a reason, like exactly like Rob G was saying, that there are those laws in place, because what Amy said, if you're living in a state of survival, or if you're already breaking the law to get there, then you're going to continue to do that because that's your way of life.
Yep.
So we need to be enforcing the law. We can't just say, oh, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. We want it to be a safe place for everyone, especially everyone that deserves to be here. We're not saying immigration is not okay. Immigration is definitely okay, but it has to be legal for the safety of them and us.
Yeah, and it makes it feel like they're putting the safety of other people above the safety of their own citizens
Yep.
Yes.
who've elected them into the position to
Yes.
allow them to choose the safety of the immigrants and migrants coming to this country legally, rather than the United States citizens who are paying the taxes that then go to those migrants who break the law to get into this country illegally, to then go be flown around the country and put up in hotels and shelters.
And
What a
100%.
clusterfuck.
Yeah. Oh
Jeez.
God. Yeah.
Oh
You
my
guys,
goodness.
Kelly, did I show you this? So you guys want to talk about a liberal first line of defense when something like this happens? Jake, you put this tweet up. Catherine Biergsley, what the hell is it? Biergsley. She said, I'm sorry.
Biergsley?
She goes, you like eating sushi, yes? You like salsa dancing, yes? Assimilation only goes so far. You don't want the stuff canceled. That's managing multiculturalism. So listen. So and then this guy goes, so 3 British children were hacked to death with the machete in Southport by a Rwandan. Liberals' first line of defense is you like eating sushi, you can't complain about immigration. Think about that. Like, you want all these foods, you want what migration brings, foods, dancing, and whatever. Like, get used to it. Can you imagine that liberal attitude? And Brandon, I know you think of the same way that I do. Unless something starts happening to the people that are making the decisions, that are letting these children get raped and murdered, nothing is going to change. There needs to be a rule set in place. I don't know how, I wouldn't know the particulars, but if you're responsible for having an open border and our children are getting killed, something should happen to yours. I'm sorry. They're not going to stop that. Alejandro Mayorkas, you think anything's going to happen? You think they're ever going to stop it, Brandon? We only have a couple months left. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
No,
I'm not hoping it happens, but you think Alejandro Mayorkas' daughter, if he has one, or his cousin or his wife, are going to get raped and killed by a migrant from Venezuela? No, you know who's going to be? Your cousin. His, you know what I mean? God forbid. Anybody in our freaking family. My cousin was rear-ended by somebody that doesn't belong in the country. God forbid he wasn't killed, but his attitude is let them all in. And I go, you're dumbass. You almost got... You know what I mean? God forbid they rammed you hard enough and they killed you and your whole fucking family.
And you know what their attack mechanism is that anytime you give pushback against this, it's like, oh, you're a white racist, you're a white supremacist, because you know was over 50% of the country is white and from America, and they use that as an attack vector to call you a racist if you complain about illegal criminals coming into the country illegally and committing crimes.
There's nothing wrong with immigration, legal immigration.
Yeah, that's the word.
Illegal immigration is freaking wrong.
But that's
Hello,
the word.
immigrants here.
Yeah,
Hi.
and that's the
Bro,
word.
this is right. This is right.
They make
Someone
it
that
as difficult
contributes
as-
to society. Someone that's involved in our laws, our policies,
Our taxes.
votes.
Yeah.
But look how difficult they make it for those people. There's like sometimes 5-10 year wait lists for people who have good jobs and who are responsible people from other countries. They make it extremely difficult for
Who's
them to get
they?
here
Be
and
specific.
expensive.
The government.
Yeah, like the government, the process they put into place make it extremely difficult for people to come here legally, and couldn't make it easier for people to come here illegally.
Facts. If I leave, I can't get back in. So like I've been trying to plan to go visit home for the longest time. Can't get back. Like it would literally be easier for me to leave, fly to Mexico, and then walk on over the border and get back in, and it'll be like
And
it
it's
never
sad,
happened.
but I mean, it's sad, but it's true.
It's crazy. Yeah, and I pay taxes. I work here. I mean, I'm more passionate about American politics and Australian politics because I know the free world basically rises and falls on what we do here. So I'm a true patriot for America, and that's how it should be for people coming here.
That's what I'm talking about. What's up, everybody? Vincent O'Shawn here. If you want to see me and the entire Valuetainment crew, we will be at the Vault Conference September 4th through the 7th at the Palm Beach Convention Center, hosted by none other than Patrick Bet-David and featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys, this is the place to be. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to level up, do not miss this opportunity. This is the best place to network. If you want tickets, go to thevaultconference.com. Do not waste time. This thing is going to sell out, and I will see you guys there. Peace and love. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.